All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Marian Dickson, the Development Director for the International Rescue Committee in Atlanta, Tallahassee, and Miami. I'm here today with Una Bilic, the Site Manager for the IRC in Tallahassee, and Caridad Mas-Batchelor, the Interim Deputy Director for the IRC in Miami. We are here to provide our community with an update on our COVID response. Together, we'll discuss creative adaptations that we've made to our service delivery to ensure that we can continue to serve our clients with little to no disruption. All right, so Una, can you tell me what it means to empower your clients so that they can integrate and thrive?
Hi, Marian.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Thank you so much for that question. I think it's a great one. I think when we talk about empowerment and thriving, especially for the refugee population that we serve, I think the word that comes into mind is to empower, to integrate, and not to empower, to assimilate. And what we always do at the International Rescue Committee Tallahassee office is make sure that our clients understand to remain who they are while they adapt into a new community. So what me and my staff works really hard on is to make sure that they are accepted and welcome here. They still maintain their own identity while learning and being integrated into their new community as far as employment, neighborhoods, schools, and etc.
Great, thanks. And Caridad?
Thanks, Marian. So integration in our programming here at the International Rescue Committee Miami office share the same thought process that Una expressed, but with the population that we serve, it's very important for us to always keep in mind and emphasize with the survivors and the vulnerable populations that we're here to work alongside them and support them so that they can follow their own path and journey. One thing that we've realized over the years of providing service to these vulnerable populations is that success and thriving looks very different depending on each particular case. But as long as there is any motion that they consider forward, we're right there with them to ensure that they have what they need.
Lovely, thank you. And so then how have you adapted your programs during COVID, right? What does your COVID response look like today?
Yeah, so it's all about being creative and developing our own skill sets while assisting clients. So me and my staff have been working really hard to make sure that clients don't feel like there's a gap in services. And so what we're doing is we're calling clients every week via video WhatsApp. So case managers are calling clients on video chat and making sure that not only do we hear the client, but that we see and feel that the client is doing well. So that is every single week for every single one of our refugee families that lives in Tallahassee. They get an hour talking to their case managers virtually. We're helping them in several different areas, making sure that once again, there's no gaps in services. We're covering things from public benefits to employment, to school, to ESOL, just being very, like, as we are communicating together as a team, we're making sure that we're over communicating with our clients as well. That also includes food delivery to the front of their doorsteps. It includes leaving donated laptops in front of their doorsteps. It includes us then training clients on, hey, we left this laptop in front of your door. Let us teach you now via WhatsApp how to use that laptop. Hey, did you receive your census? Great. Let's work together on making sure you understand what the census is and how we can complete it together. So we have been very creative virtually via video chat and Zoom and WhatsApp to make sure that our clients still feel us in their life and we feel them in our presence.
Impressive.
Yes.
Wow. And Carrie?
Similar, I've expressed to my team that this is the time for us to just be as innovative as we can to ensure that the survivors and the vulnerable populations that we work with, as Una expressed, see no gap or no interruption in services. Since we provide service to a diverse group with different needs, we've made it a point to ensure that they've received resources in their primary languages, not only around COVID, but around the resources of their community. We do serve the Tri-County area, and so the resources that are available are different. And we want to make sure that the clients in those areas are aware of those resources and are maximizing it, because no one agency can do it alone, and as long as we're working collaboratively to get that done, then that's what we want to make sure our survivors and vulnerable populations feel integrated into their communities. We have created new systems to ensure that they continue to receive access to the financial assistance that we can provide, which is a huge component of our service delivery for our anti-trafficking program. And we've worked diligently with our partners to ensure that the unaccompanied minors and immigrant youth that are served to our office have access, equal access to all of the resources that are available in our community.
Equally impressive. Thanks, Caridad. So Una, you had previously described your clients as being financially vulnerable. And what do you mean by that?
Absolutely. So think about it. When a refugee family comes here, they literally come with nothing. We like to say with the clothes on their backs, that is exactly what they come in. If anybody in the community has ever helped us with an airport pickup, you know that our clients literally come, a big family of 10 will come with probably 3 suitcases max. So from the beginning, financial vulnerability is there. What my staff does is works really hard to make sure that we are training clients in job readiness and of course, employment placement. We really try to focus on attaining their first job in the United States within the first 180 days. And I have to say, the Tallahassee office has been extremely successful. We have a 93% self-sufficiency rate for all of our clients within the first 180 days, meaning that upon 100 days of arriving in Tallahassee, 93% of our clients are self-sufficient. And in IRC world, self-sufficient means that their income can cover all of their household expenses. And that is through help of the wonderful employers in the city that we work with, from FSU Sodexo to personal business, little businesses, to large lawn care maintenance such as Espositos, and everybody that supports us in a community and gives our clients their first chance at their first job in America, allows us to have such great success. So I'm extremely appreciative of that. But even with the jobs, remember, these are entry-level jobs, and entry-level jobs means entry-level pay. And unfortunately, when the COVID-19 situation arose, it was those entry-level jobs with entry-level pay that were the first jobs to be dismissed, leaving all of our clients laid off. My current population is 95% unemployed, and we are working diligently to try to find employment opportunities in the Tallahassee community for our clients. Not only working so hard to succeed, to become financially stable and to be able to meet your household expenses, and all of a sudden a large population being laid off leaves them extremely financially vulnerable. With entry-level jobs, with entry-level pay, does not leave room for big savings. So our clients are working day to day to pay their bills. They're not putting things aside on savings and, waiting for a rainy day. So with that said, that is what makes my population financially vulnerable. They work really hard, but when a huge pandemic like this has affected the entire community and left many, many of our clients unemployed.
Great, thank you for that. And Caridad, I'll ask you the same question. When you have described your clients as financially vulnerable, what do you mean by that?
Sure. I think when we think of financially vulnerable, it goes back to my original statement that each survivor or each client that we're working with is in an individual stage of progression to obtain self-sufficiency. And so there may be a client that we're working with that doesn't have the ability or the legal status to work in the United States, but rely heavily on the IRC to be able to provide that financial support. And so we create systems so that they can get empowered and eventually be able to become self-sufficient when they are able to get their work permit and become a viable employed by the community. But then we also have survivors of human trafficking, for example, that have been out of the trafficking situation for quite some time and are looking for stability, or looking for empowerment to be able to take care of themselves. And so we're able to provide them with temporary financial assistance so that they can get they can take their first steps into stability while working and trying to some attend school and some work, but trying to create a balance between the both of those needs. As Una said, a lot of the clients that we serve are experiencing layoffs at this time, but at the same time, we're seeing our most vulnerable groups are being so empowered. We just received news that one of the survivors we're working with just got employed with Walmart. And so during that, there was a sense of empowerment that we see in the survivor, that even in a time like this where the majority of the community around that person is being laid off or find themselves unemployed, they were able to take and find the courage within themselves to go in, do an interview, and get a job, and take just one more step towards their stability and self-sufficiency. So,
wow, incredible, absolutely incredible. So then for your other clients, have either one of you been able to access any of the resources that have been made available through the CARES Act? And if so, how are y'all helping folks navigate that?
Yeah, so it's been a challenge, and I think we speak for all Americans, those that accessing those CARE Act benefits such as UI and employment insurance has been difficult. Here in the Tallahassee office with our refugee populations, I said where 95% of our working clients have been laid off, we have successfully applied for every single client for unemployment insurance. It took weeks and days and 2 a.m. applications and 8 a.m. applications and trying to navigate the web-based the best that we can, and we have successfully applied. However, there is such a long waiting time. We have been told that it's up to 2 months before the first unemployment payment is issued. So what happens now? Right? What happens now? How do our clients pay rent now? How do our clients pay utilities now? How do our clients pay their phone bill now? So we are assisting. We are assisting with everything that the CARE Act has done, including the stimulus package, right? So the stimulus package was just released. So what are me and my staff doing? Budgeting. So this is how much we know that the client is getting. So we are getting on the phone, on WhatsApp, on video chats, and saying, hey, this is how much money you're getting. Let's budget. Let's plan for these rainy days that we're currently in. How is this money going to take you 2-3 months out to make sure that you and your kids are financially stable and have a roof on your head and meet all the needs that you currently have? So really focusing on budgeting, on the stimulus package, preparing our clients. We have applied for unemployment, waiting for the claims to be processed and for that distribution to happen. So the team has been working so hard day and night to make sure that all the needs are met for clients.
Great, thank you. Caridad?
I mean, Una said it perfectly. But yeah, we are focusing on not only providing information, but providing support through these systems that can be difficult for anyone to go and process and understand, and things that sometimes can seem very simple for us can be a bit more challenging if English is not the primary language of the clients that we're serving, or the nuances of words and terms that sometimes we take for granted for being able to understand. And so with the same thing, we have sat with our clients and created budgets for long-term planning. One of the things for us is to ensure that we're not finding short-term solutions. We're thinking long-term. We want stability to be a part of their long-term growth and not just a short-term solution. And so part of that is having conversations about budget and explaining what a savings is and explaining the benefit of, putting a couple dollars aside, even though right now the need is so great and they find themselves so limited because some are unemployed and so just teaching them and giving them resources so that they feel empowered to take ownership of their reality right now.
Great, thank you. So you both talked a bit about sustainability and and working to empower your clients along that journey. How can the communities in which you exist help with that? How can folks in Tallahassee help? How can folks in Miami help? And then what kind of help specifically do you need?
So I have to say thank you to the Tallahassee community. Thank you to the Tallahassee Democrat for writing a story about the financial struggles that my clients are going through. And we were on the front page of the Tallahassee Democrat newspaper last Friday, where 2 of our families shared the story of how they have been laid off and how that has really caused significant challenges within their families. So I really appreciate the Democrat and the Tallahassee community for really embracing that and donating to the current relief fund that we have. So how can the Tallahassee community help? Please, 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 what we're really trying to do right now is trying to meet our goal. So monetary donations to our fund is the most essential thing. Why are we not accepting clothing and rice and other items? Because those are hard right now. While we are working from home 100%, it is really hard to be able to go to the office and distribute all of those to clients and organize them, and it takes a lot of manpower that unfortunately we don't have right now as we're working from home. So those monetary donations are the most essential, because those will help clients pay their rent, those will help clients pay their utilities, those will help clients keep their cell phones on. So that is really what we're focusing on. While we always appreciate the Tallahassee community, making my whole donation room full of stuff and clothes and shoes and books and toys. And I'm always so appreciative of that. Now is the time that we really need to focus on the monetary donations and make sure that our clients have a roof on their head so that they can come back to the donation room a month or two from now and be able to bring items back into the home that they have and it's paid for.
Man, Una is a great to follow. I just, yes, Una, same thing to the Miami community. We've been in the Miami community since 1960, and our community has every time shown out for the needs of the vulnerable populations that we serve. And, it's exactly that. Right now, we want to ensure housing security and food security. Those seem to be the highest things right now that the populations that we serve are struggling with, and we're able to do that with monetary donations. We're proud to say that we're 50% through, to our goal, and that's fantastic. And I know that we would be even happier to see hit 100, and only for the purpose of what it would bring and the contributions that we can give to the clients that we serve. The ability to have stable housing, the ability to have food, and the ability to know that their families are taken care of means more than I think we give ourselves credit for. And any contribution that can be given, a monetary contribution right now, makes an impact directly to the clients that we serve, which are oftentimes the most vulnerable populations within our communities, those that don't have a voice, those that rely on us to speak for them and guide them and empower them. And you can do that by just simply stepping up, and anything that you can contribute at this time is going to make such a difference. And I know that our community is working together right now through COVID, and we're trying to find a solution for all of the problems taking place, but one impact and one person that we can empower will take it to the next level.
Great, thank you both for that. And so then if folks want to give right now, how can they do that? How can they reach you?
Go to the link, whichever way the link is. Go to the link and donate, because this money is shared between both the Florida offices. And so if you're donating to our link, it goes directly to the clients who live here in Florida. So wherever the link is, please donate to the link.
Yes, I can't reiterate it enough. The key thing here is it will go straight to those in your community, and I can't highlight that enough. And there's such a feeling to know that your contribution is impacting someone that you never know, could be your next door neighbor. And so we want to make sure that our community as a whole is thriving, and whatever contributions we can contribute to that as a community will take us to the next step.
Absolutely. Thanks. All right. So y'all are both super impressive women. Tell me, who are your heroes?
You want to go first, Scotty?
Who are my heroes? I think definitely, first thing I think of are all the men and women that are in the front line right now and doing the work. But in my day-to-day, I always say that my heroes are the vulnerable populations that we serve, that even in this pandemic are waking up every day, working to try to just thrive and try to just make the best of their situations. And, when we reach out to our clients on a regular basis, as we do, and we say, do you need anything? Their first response is, no, we're fine.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to have us help them. And so, when I see how they get up and they go to job interviews and they're trying to kind of obtain their own level of stability through all of this, it is very heartwarming and just reminds us that our day-to-day focus is and mission for our community is there. And as long as we can continue to provide this work and continue to serve these vulnerable populations, we're going to be making an impact in our community, not just during this pandemic, but in the longevity of the sustainability of our community, because these individuals want to be integrated. They want to work, they want to go to school, they want to do all of the things that we were able to do. And sometimes, you know, life happens and they experience different things, but we're here to be able to kind of walk alongside them and empower them. So the small thing, I see it as the small piece of the grand picture that we can contribute to see them every day wake up and take on the challenges that they have is really remarkable.
Oh, I have to go.
Una?
No, that was beautiful. I really, and beautiful and true, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess mine is more generic. My heroes are my parents. And this is a difficult time for my family as well. We came here as Bosnian refugees we left the Bosnian Civil War in 1994, and we were resettled by another resettlement agency in Orlando, and which is where my parents live currently. And we've been in America since 1994, and my parents have held a successful business for the last 20 years, a small little Italian restaurant, small little mom and pop shop. And they made that happen. Like, we came here literally with nothing as well. I think we had 2 suitcases each, and my parents both college educated professionals, their first job in the United States was working at McDonald's. My mom, 1 shift, my dad, day shift and night shift. And then they career laddered into housekeeping. And after career laddering into housekeeping, then they learned English and integrated better into the community. And then they attained jobs, and my mom became a bank teller, and my father worked for the Orlando Sentinel. And then after that, they became business owners and have held a successful restaurant business for the last 20 years. And obviously, we all know that not only is this really affecting the vulnerable populations, but it's really affecting our small businesses as well. And so my parents are in experiencing some hard financial hardship basically themselves. So, but, you know, I talked to my mom the other day, and she was like, Una, with everything we've been through, we survived the war, we came here, we built our lives, this is not gonna stop us. So just like her positive attitude and her like, hey, we've overcome so much worse, we shall overcome this too, is what makes her and my dad my hero, like every single day. With everything that gets thrown at us, they take it and they're like, it's not as bad as where we came from. It's not as bad as what we experienced. So we will make it through this as well. So heroes every single day, more and more with as I grow older. They never cease to amaze me.
Awesome. Thank you both. Anything else that you'd like to share? I feel like that was a really great note to end on, but I want to give you the floor one more time.
Just thank you to those who made it to the end of watching this video, number one, right? And thank you for all the people who have supported us, because you're not just supporting us as in the International Rescue Committee, you are supporting those vulnerable populations, you're supporting the refugees, you're supporting survivors of victim trafficking and survivors from other programs. And we're so thankful. And it's not, it really means a lot when we say, like, we need this, we need your support, we need your donations, because at a time like this, it is a need, not even just a want. So thank you for assisting our families and making sure that they continue to thrive. Wonderful.
Thank you. And yeah, let me echo Una's words and say thanks to everyone who watched this video, who appreciated the update, and know that there'll be more to come. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.